So it is July 23rd, 2024, and I am overdue for some collective readings. I'm kind of, I was sucked into a wormhole that I'm just getting out of and learned a lot from it. But this second Capricorn full moon really rocked a bitch back into their spot. So I shaved my head this morning. Well, I cut it all the way down and I feel amazing. And I was like in the midst of a lot of this, like, genuinely, like, just like a friendship betrayal, which has led to me being without my own place to live. My feelings were really sparked about like who my community is, right? And I've just like taken this as an indication that was obviously not. No matter what I was able to like pull from it, I get to keep all of that. But the universe, big me in the sky, was aware that was not the vibes anymore. So, in attempts with the intention to reaffirm like who community really is, I was just like, bro, also in relation to like lack, like money, being disabled and being an artist, not being able to work, being an artist out of COVID was already, and COVID is still here, but like already a fucking wild ride. And so it just like all of these kind of feelings of insecurity were rectified when I thought about like the YouTube community of spiritualists and the community that I've found in the community that I found online through my hermit season, through the season of me just like getting close and closer to God and like clearing a lot of shit from the first like 30 years of my life. As I come out of that, I recognize that like my work as a spiritualist is my fundamental work, and I don't need all of this pressure around doing it. I can share my gifts, as Queen of Wands just popped up there, share my gifts as fluidly as I experience them. And watching people, other spiritualists online, really like just like be poured into by folks like me who are watching them, leaving comments, praying over them, like paying them. I've been, which I'm sure a lot of us on this path like have been ridiculed for not wanting to capitalize off of our gifts and off of spirit. But there's a difference between capitalizing and receiving your own energy back to you. So without any expectations of myself, I was like, I just want to do a reading. Let me do a reading. Because I know I'm feeling a lot. I know other people are feeling a lot. And I don't want to be, I don't want to feel like trapped about how I need to Eight of Pentacles. How I need to move through that allotness. And I'm not worried that I'll be taken advantage of, or that I will give too much. So here I am. Spirit, friends, and family of the Most High. My angels, my guides, my beloved dead. Thank you for communicating with me in all the ways that you do, for reminding me that it's simple. It's a simple life. And that I can give and receive through that simplicity. I love seeing readers do blackout readings. I love seeing them, have a full face on in an outfit or just dropped out. The lovers. Yeah. I love when I see folks decide to just flow. And so, spirit, friends, and family, what information do you have for me, for the collective, during this time of great transition? How do we flow easier through the heartache, through the betrayal, through the endings? How do we see what is in front of us, around us? How do we take the fucking pressure off? Our gifts, off our bodies, off each other, while still remaining accountable to what we need to do to show up for our most living truth, for our most deserved, joyous existence. 3 cards. 3 cards. So at the bottom of the deck we have the Knight of Swords. I think that makes a lot of sense in relation to the clarity coming for us. The clarity in how we talk to ourselves. The Page of Wands just poked up. The clarity in the relationship to what we actually already know to be true about the people, places, and things that we've been engaged in. I had a few friends ask, but was there any point where you had, inklings that this wasn't gonna work out? And I absolutely did. And there was something in me that kept saying, but it's not that bad, right? And so the first card that came out was the Empress. Jumped out. I love this Empress. My hair looked like this morning. But the Empress knows her worth. The Empress is the Empress because, which is all queens combined, because she's understood what is hers to explain and what isn't. When there's enough information to cut the cord, she doesn't stay, this is in reverse, she doesn't stay in this wounded place, underneath 9 of Wands, stuck in a castle waiting for somebody to save her. I don't want to be like Cinderella, sitting in a dark, cold, dusty cellar, waiting for somebody to come and set me free. I don't want to be like Snow White, waiting for a handsome prince to come and save me. Oh, I will survive. There's somebody by my side. Don't want to be no one else. I'd rather rescue myself. In the words of our Cheetah Girls, Cheetah Sisters. Yeah. The Empress. The Empress is also patient. She knows the difference between patience and settling. Oh. She knows the difference between when people are giving the most that they have, but she still knows when it isn't enough for her. We can see people trying their best. We can try our best. But there's this sense inside us, this pillar, our spine, that says, yes, you're trying, you're doing, and do you need more? Because it's okay to need more, also without it being about the other person's lack, right? You see the wheat, it's like a walking stick. Otomo teaching Sinke, the feminine aspect of leadership, the stick connecting us to the heavens and to the earth, to the feminine, to this deep divine knowing of the cycles of life and of tending to them, and the differences in what season of growth, what you might have needed in one season of growth might not be what you need in another season of growth. It might need more rain this year because the last 3 years there was drought. It might be that there was more pain, more loss, more. I'm also feeling heat because there was a lot of stagnancy, there was a lot of cold, trapped, dense, stale air before. You need heat, you need all the elements to find balance, and I think right now the universe is really supporting us in seeing like what is the difference between needing too much and being greedy. Especially if you're a marginalized person, a lot of the time our needs are wrapped up in our wants, are wrapped up in our needs, are wrapped up in our wants. They're like we're conditioned to think that our needs are just wants. Yeah, okay, you want that, but like, and it's like, no, I actually need this, because if I don't have it, my quality of life diminishes. And it's not just quality, like it's like, oh, like I need this brand name this because what I have is a knockoff. It's like, if I don't get like 8 hours of sleep and enough nutrients in my food, like I wither. It's fine if you think that you can just like grab a croissant at the beginning of the day and run your life, but I myself am disabled and need to be sustained, and it's okay for me to ask for that and require that, even if I'm not the only one that's able to put it forth anymore. The card in the middle is the Three of Pentacles. It's our time to not only recognize our needs for ourselves, but stand on them so fiercely that we have to call in support. That we get to have people support us. That we get to require more from our leaders. That we get to require more from the leader inside us. that we get to put some bass in our voice when we say, I'm an empress, I'm special, I'm unique, just like you are, just like you are, just like you are. And I deserve to stand on that. It's actually required. And not only so that, like, in a way that says, like, I know these needs, so I'm fully and solely responsible for making them actualize. Mutual aid is everyone's business because everyone will need it, because everyone is actually already receiving it, even if they don't think they are. Taxes, the idea of taxes, is so that the services that are required by us as a mass, us as a collective, are taken care of. That's the idea of taxes. So that our social services, the things that keep our society flowing, keep people relating to each other through care, the doctors, through nurturing the grocery stores and the recreation centers, through the legal support, these are all structures that say, I'm here to take care of you. I'm responsible for you. The government is there. The taxes that come out of the checks that you get from spending hours of your day doing labor with your body, your mind, and your spirit. Those taxes are not going into the care services that you need to be a functioning human being. In fact, they're going to do murder of innocent people and children and land. Taxes are supposed to be mutual aid. But because they're not doing that, because you can't trust that money to go where it needs to go, where you think it's supposed to go, to the libraries, for your kids to get their books, to the XYZ. What will it take for us to get a little more intimate with what's taking care of us? What's churning the gears of our life? Who is a better question. Can you talk? Can you talk to people about your money? Can you talk to them about the issues that you're experiencing with your doctor? Can you talk to folks about things that we're not allowed to rely on other people for because they're not your business? Then stop paying your taxes if you don't care about the people. Like, in thought, if taxes were doing what they need to be done. And granted, if the job was being done, then maybe we wouldn't need to be as intimately involved in each other's business. But the 10 of Wands, there's something about that inner child there. That child is exhausted. That child is like, where have the adults been? Why Why have I been forced to do so much giving a fuck about myself? It's always gonna fall on me. If I want it to be done the way I want it, it's gotta be done by me. Want something done, do it yourself. If you want, it's not gonna work. That part of our ego has to shed, because we've never actually done anything ourselves. We might have been the impetus, and trust me, it's coming from a black ass bitch. There's a lot of shit that I can say, and if I didn't do it, and it might be true, but people aren't the only thing keeping me alive. The sun still comes up. The bodies of water are still existing. The trees die, come back. Whether I'm here or not. But they helped me in my darkest seasons to remember that everything's moving still. You might not think it's gonna get done, or it's gonna change without your force, and without your mind, taking control of every single aspect, and that might feel good. That might feel like you can count on something, but we're animals. We're flesh and bone. I got rocked. My body said too much. You're a miracle, Nasra, and you can do everything, but you shouldn't have to. I've been talking about this, where it's like, I can, or you can, or, people be like, you can do it, you can do anything. Of course. I know. That's not the problem. The problem is, I don't want to. The problem is, I shouldn't have to. I want to experience my limitlessness, all the can-dos and da-da-da, for shit that I actually want to do myself. But there's this spirit of refusal that's in the air. The spirit of no. Spirit of get somebody else to do it. That is in the air, that comes after this deep exhaustion. Tens represent the end of the cycle. But you see how it's like she put the flower pot, the watering can down. She put it down. That's a big ass pot too. That's like half her body. And she's just like, I'm gonna take a break, actually, because I'm a kid. Why they got the kid voice? The kid that just wants play, wants a little bit of joy, wants to eat something and watch something, eat something that's shaped in a funny shape. I'm hearing the elders this energy of it's not that serious. Everything is serious, and it's not that serious. Let it go. Let whatever is and whomever is binding you to these ideas of, I gotta figure it out. I'm the only one that knows me. I'm. Everybody's going through some shit. Let's share the fucking load. Oh, you too? Groceries crazy for you too, of course. Oh, you too? Kid can't find somewhere to hang out outside of the internet. Okay, bet. Oh, you too? You can't access a general physician. Swords are also about communication. Talk to each other and figure out what is scary about talking to each other. It doesn't have to be everybody, but But it can be the internet, it could be, you know, a neighbor. But you deserve your harvest. You deserve to have that stability in you that says, I know what I'm made of. And no matter what anybody spins, what story they spin about who I am, what I've done, where I forgive myself. I forgive others so that I can mind my fucking business where I'm at and move on. Trust that whatever lessons I needed to gather, I've gathered. But I'm going to stand on the fact that I'm not scared of wanting more for myself. No matter how foolish it looks to other people, no matter how people will project that it's ego. Oh, they think they this. Oh, they think they don't have to do that. Oh, everybody's got to go through that. I reject any narratives around suffering and struggle in order to reap. I receive my bounty with ease. I take a moment to actually look back and see how far a nigga has come. And I say, we're gonna take a moment to clap. We're gonna get good at celebrating when you see the first little sprout of a green come up and you're just like, you're doing so good. You see your plant get a new leaf. What? You see your animal do a new thing. You see your kid try a new thing. You see your friend stick to something. You stick to something long enough to see your skill level change. Congratulations. You noticed a moment where you would have acted differently before. Congratulations. And if there's any aspect of you that's exhausted, let that nigga rest, for real. And whatever unknowns are on the other side of rest, well, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna pay for that? The kid needs this, none of that can happen without you. Not only you, but it can't happen without you. Your life can't happen without you. So give that nigga a fucking break and talk to them like there's someone you care about, that you want to see thrive, that you know probably needs it a little softer, that you know would probably benefit from you saying you're good, doing what you say you're gonna do, moment by moment, but who will also give you some grace and some forgiveness. Be someone you can trust, because we want everybody else out here. We're looking at everybody else saying, work for me, make me trust you, do this, do that. But it starts right here, and that trust is literally just a relationship to hanging out together. Good, bad, this, that. It's like I'm gonna be around. I'm gonna talk it through. I'm gonna say no to you that behavior is actually fucked up. No, sir, we're not doing that anymore. Please. Cool. I'm also gonna stand up for myself. No, you don't have to go to that place. No, like, my pronouns are this. I don't care if you don't understand me. I actually, like, I'm okay not explaining. Because there's people that, like, I talk and they're like, So I'm gonna remove myself from over here. All of those actions, especially the way that we talk to ourselves during moments of stress, during moments of mistakes, during moments of fear, that the tonality and just the way, the energy with which we engage with ourselves in those moments especially, build so much for the moments of joy and celebration when you want to be like, bitch, turn the fuck up. You that one. And whatever one comes first, if it needs to be you in the mirror, like, you that hoe, you that nigga, before it can be, okay, yeah, you may have said something or you acted a way that you might not want to. I love you. And, like, how come? Like, what made you think that? Like, what made you move that way? Why was that what you wanted to do? Curiosity, attention. Attention is the currency of love, as I have read recently. And I've been thinking about a lot. We just want someone to pay attention to what we want and what we need, especially. So please be that person for yourself. I'm learning to. And it doesn't mean that I have to execute all of the things that I find out that I need and that I want. But I can bring people into that. I can say, hey, is this something that you can do? I'm still learning how to do this every day. But the more I come to terms with that, the more too, when people ask that of me, I can say, no, but I can do this. I receive your bids for attention. I want to give them to you because I love you and I care about you. And please know this is what I'm working with. Be mindful of that when you ask. But also ask so that I can practice knowing if I can or if I can't. And one practical tool that I want to offer that has really been helping me do this and embody and integrate this needing, wanting, including others, asking for help, is sometimes we just need a little bit more processing time. So if somebody asks you a question about something you can give or something they need from you or want from you, give yourself the processing time to decide. And you could also be on the other end of this. If you want to ask for something, what I do is, hey, I need some help with my laundry. Can you help me? I'll give you like a few minutes and then I'll come check in. Or, yeah, I find the check-in really works. So, can you help me? You go, I say it, give them the chance, I leave. Then it's up to that person to like really be there, think about it, come back, and then I'll come back or they can come back and say, hey, yeah, I can do that. Just because a lot of us are contending with having to do things we don't want to do all the time, that we can be out of practice with like knowing if we want to or don't, or have the energy or don't. So having a buffer, but making sure you go back and check, because a lot of the time I find that, like, will you let me know? I don't know if people will sometimes. And sometimes I forget to come back. So I offer that to you. Our relationship to ourselves is the relationship to each other. And I pray that it deepens out of love and curiosity for all of us. Ashe, sacred space is closed.